Hi, welcome to another Kulan Motorsport video. In this video we're going to wire up a BC168 balance charger to a custom battery pack up to 6S. On the BC168 by default it already has JST connections for 3 2-cell batteries, 2 3-cell batteries, 1 6-cell battery. So we only want to use a 5S battery which requires 6 leads, 5 of which are active and 1 ground, and that's going to plug in to the adapter that came with the BC168 because our plug doesn't conform to their 6S charger on the side. So ours can plug in here like that, and then that runs into the BC168 6S charger on the side. But first of all we have to be able to get our JST plug to our custom battery pack, and so I'm going to show you how to make these extension leads so that you can plug it on to the custom battery pack on the top. So all of these leads will actually run to the top and then charge your battery pack. So to start with, you need to make some extension leads with alligator clips on the end, and I've already gone ahead and prepared the leads that I need. So for the alligator clips, you're going to want to add some solder into the end. And that's just so that you can sit the wire into the end of your alligator clip. So you don't want on too much of an angle, otherwise the solder runs. And then we're able to take our wire, heat up the alligator plug, and the wire will sit on the inside. Yep, there we go. Now you just finish that off by crushing the alligator plug on the connection side, so it wraps around the reasonably thin wires that I'm using. And just to ensure a good connection, I'll put a little bit more solder down the end. Okay, so we can then slip the alligator plug cover over the top, but we'll let it cool first. And while we wait for that to cool, we can have a look at these leads. So you've got the different coloured leads. This is negative, which I've gone ahead and done already, to a negative coloured alligator lead. And because these are so thin, we want to cut them off pretty early and minimise the resistance. So to strip them, I'm just using a Stanley knife. And because these are carrying 8 amps of current, we really need to be insulating them. So I've got some heat shrink, just a bit of heat shrink to go over the end. Will insulate it from the others. So we can take the alligator alligator clip off of our soldering stand. Put the plug in instead. Make sure you slip the heat shrink over first. That's very important to make sure that you have it in before you solder. And tin these wires. Just tin that wire as well. Then holding them together, this is the difficult bit on your own. It's just getting that first connection. So I'm just going to go through and do that for the remaining 4 wires and alligator clips, and then I'll show you how to connect it up to the battery, and we'll go through and put it on to charge. Okay, so I've gone through and cleaned up a little bit and finished off the wires as well. So here we have our wiring harness for charging up to a 5S battery. Very easy to see which one is the negative line. That one there will always go onto the negative of the battery, and then each of these should go onto a corresponding battery cell. So this will go onto the first S, so onto the first series connection, second series connection, third, fourth and fifth. And a good idea is to do stripes on the end here with a pen, so that you can tell exactly what number S it's meant to go on without having to trace it back to the original connection. So, to connect it up, first we're going to put in the adapter that came with the BC168 into the 6S connection at the bottom. Then take this and plug it in to the 5S connection on that board. Make sure it clicks in properly. Now the BC168 is on. You can see some numbers, and we can go through and set it up with different charging and discharging parameters. So at the moment I've got it so that when it charges, it will charge connected cells to 4.2 volts at a current of 5 amps. So we're able to go through and change those up and down. I'll go through this in a bit more detail in another video. This is for discharging, what voltage we want to discharge to, and at what current. Again, you can change those up and down. And this is for a balanced charge, so this goes down to much better resolution. This is for the charge mode and the time that we want to charge it for. What the input voltage is, so if it drops below a certain input voltage, it will immediately cut off. LCD brightness, this charger has a whole bunch of different settings. What the actual time is, and back to the home page. So this battery here is only a 2S battery. It was constructed with Chris Jones from Voltron Electric Motorcycles, using his screw kit termination, and it's almost over 1 kilowatt hour is in this battery pack here. Now I've labelled them. You've got negative and positive on the top. So obviously we're going to take our negative lead, attach to negative. We're going to take our first lead, and you can see that negative follows through from there. We're going to take the second lead, or the first S, and attach it onto the first S connection, and then take the second S, which is orange, and that will go onto the positive tab. So that's how I connect it up for 2S. The remainder of these stay separate. There's not going to be any current going through them, but it's a good idea to not let the ends touch. So I'll just go through back to the home page. Okay, and now on the home page, you can see that it says 3.7 and 3.71, and that's just flickering back and forth. So it's already giving us a readout of what the voltage is for the cells, and 3.7 is exactly what you want. That's nominal voltage for this chemistry. So to charge it, just go ahead and press charge. Fan will go on, and we'll watch the current climb up to 5 amps. So it's currently charging the battery at 5 amps. To stop it, just press the mode button, and then you can also discharge, which it won't do because we're currently below the discharge voltage, or balance charge. When you press balance charge, it's only going to charge it at a very low rate. Okay, so that's essentially how to wire up and charge a custom lithium polymer battery using a BC168 charger. Watch the next video that I'll be putting up. That will be how to program the BC168 and a bit of a tutorial on that. Won't be long until we have this battery pack in our car, and we'll be setting off to try and do 1700 kilometers or 1060 miles on a single battery charge. So that will be happening in the near future. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already.